Millions of Americans will wake up from the weekend and head to work on Monday morning, but large swaths of their government will not. National leaders' attempts at finding a path forward to fund the country's federal offices have sputtered since last week, when the Senate failed to pass a bill for a short-term extension of the budget. Efforts at ending the impasse, which is wrapped up in debates over President Trump ending DACA protections for Dreamer immigrations and funding for his proposed border wall, lasted through the weekend, with hopes that Monday would bring a fix. What happens now? Senators are expected to vote at noon Monday on a bill that would end the shutdown by kicking the can further down the road, funding the government for just under 3 weeks. Republicans in the House of Representatives are also willing to accept the bill that would delay another potential shutdown until February. 8. Speaker of the House Paul Ryan said Sunday on Face the Nation. However, Monday's vote comes after a similar 4-week deal failed to pass on Friday, with no votes from Republicans like Arizona Sen. Jeff Flake, who wanted the legislature to tackle immigration issues such as DACA. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell said Sunday that the current stopgap measure would include a commitment by him to address immigration if no deal is made by February. 8. It is unclear what form the final settlement between Democrats and Republicans, also negotiating around the wishes of the White House, will take. Illinois Democrat Senator Dick Durbin said Sunday that Minority Leader Chuck Schumer of New York had agreed to some funding for Trump's border wall in exchange for protecting Dreamers, but the president backed out 2 hours after agreeing. Payment for employees: Trump has blamed Democrats for the shutdown and written on Twitter that they do not appreciate the military, though the situation is more complicated than he suggests. Soldiers, sailors, airmen and Marines will still be accruing pay, but will not receive their money until after the shutdown ends. Pay is issued on the first and middle of each month, meaning that paychecks will go out as they normally would if a fix is found before February. A bill from Missouri Democrat Senator Claire McCaskill to guarantee the troops get paid was rejected this weekend by McConnell, who said it wasn't necessary yet. Soldiers are some of the few federal employees that will not be furloughed during the shutdown, with close to half of the 2 million civilian federal employees no longer working as of Monday morning. Who is going to work? While many government offices, such as those processing passports, will be closed, many of the essential functions will continue as normal, albeit without pay. The United States Postal Service will continue despite rain, snow and shutdown. Social Security money will still go out, and the federal court system said that it can continue to function, in part by using court fees. Air traffic control operations will still function, and the Department of Justice, which oversees the FBI, said in a breakdown that training will be canceled, but a large number of employees will continue to work because they are necessary to protect life and property. Those appointed by the president, such as U.S. attorneys, are not subject to the furlough so as to be able to help him carry out the powers set forth in the Constitution, and the Office of Special Counsel Robert Mueller is still running as it has a permanent appropriation. Other departments in the government will be harder hit. Medicare and Medicaid programs will continue to run, but half of the Federal Department of Health and Human Services will not be working as they look to combat flu season. The Internal Revenue Service, preparing for an influx of tax filings, said that more than 40% of its workers will be furloughed on Monday, and the Department of Transportation also expects similar numbers of furloughs despite many Federal Aviation Authority workers remaining on the job. What is closed? One area of American life already affected by the shutdown before Monday has been the country's national parks and museums. Visitors have been stopped from enjoying some of the nation's landmarks, the New York Gov. Andrew Cuomo said that the Statue of Liberty, operated by the National Park Service, would be open on Monday with the help of state finances. Cuomo said in a press conference Sunday that the investment was well worth the money that flows from tourists visiting the site, which symbolizes the country's welcome to immigrants. Arizona has likewise guaranteed that Grand Canyon National Park will continue to show the better side of the country crippled by partisan gridlock, though the National Park Service website has stopped providing information because of the end of its funding. The shutdown also puts a dent in the federally funded functioning of Washington, D.C. as a city, though Mayor Muriel Bowser has said that services like trash collection will continue.